Hi, I'm Amy Atkinson. I work for OK Magazine in London. I'm in Barbados to see what kind of protocols are in place post-COVID-19 and the precautions the country is taking to welcome visitors back to the island. So the experience was actually not as bad as I'd thought it was going to be. We had a first COVID test 3 days before the flight in London, and we got the results back in 24 hours, all clear. Then when we got to Heathrow Airport, there was a lot of social distancing, there was hand sanitizer everywhere, everyone was wearing masks, check-in was quite speedy, and we got on the British Airways inaugural flight to Barbados, resuming service after 15 years. Arriving at Grantley Airport was quite an experience. We had a very, very warm Bajan welcome. There was a steel band, men on stilts, lots of pictures being taken. It was very, very nice, very warm welcome. Barbados met all my expectations. It was way better than I actually thought it would be. I've been to other places similar, and I think this is one of my favourite destinations. We had a very packed schedule, although for the first 2 days we had to quarantine in our hotel. We had lovely rooms and with terraces, so it was no hardship. There were certain areas in our hotel, Cobblers Cove, that were specifically for those who had just flown in and were waiting on their second test results. So it wasn't a hardship at all. In fact, you barely noticed that you were any different from any other guest. We had a very packed itinerary. We had a walking tour of Bridgetown with a very knowledgeable guide, which was great fun. I thoroughly recommend it. You get a lot of history and detail on the island. Another day we did a sunset boat cruise on a beautiful catamaran called Cool Runnings 4. We got to swim in the sea, which was very, very warm, like a bath, even at night, with a fantastic crew, lots of great food, and they kept the drinks flowing. Another day we had a second boat trip, which was fantastic. We swam with green turtles, 4, who had come in to see if we had any goodies for them. We also did lots of water sports, a sea bob, I believe, and we tried surfing, sort of being pulled from behind a boat, which was quite difficult, but managed to stay up most of the time. On day 3 we went to Mount Gay rum distillery in the middle of the island, which was fascinating. We saw the sugarcane being grown outside, we saw the big distilling tanks, we learned how it was made, we saw the vats of molasses, and at the end we wrapped up with a nice glass of Mount Gay rum. The whole experience of our trip to Barbados was easy, comfortable. I wasn't personally frightened about travelling, but I know a lot of friends and family are. But they made it very, very easy. There's just a quite simple swab test in London, and then a couple of days later you repeat the process in Barbados and you get the results that same day or within 24 hours. To be honest, I actually forgot we were in the middle of a pandemic for most of the time we were here. And you knew you were safe, you knew everyone around you was safe, and there was plenty of hand sanitizers, mask wearing, social distancing, but you also knew that everyone in your group had gone through the same rigorous controls as you, so the experience was all around very pleasant. We got to stay in a very special hotel. I would describe it as a boutique hotel called Cobblers Cove on the west coast. It has about 42 rooms, so it's quite small and homely. Family run, and you can tell. The family are always around, the staff are treated like family members. They can't do enough for you. You're like a personal guest of the families, not just a client. There are beautiful lush gardens. It didn't feel overcrowded. It felt very relaxing, very homely. Stunning decor, beautiful setting, lovely people. Sam gave us a tour of the beautiful gardens, and they actually have quite, I think it's about set in 10 acres, I'm not sure. And on the other side of the road they have the same size again. There's a beautiful palm house where they grow and cultivate the palms from seed, headed up by Sam herself, who's very hands-on, and head gardener Donovan. We also saw some monkeys, which I believe is called the Bajan green monkey, and some of the beautiful varieties of tropical plants, lilies, grasses, and coconut trees. You can also do a historical walking tour of the grounds. The main house was built, I believe, late 30s, and the rest added in the 60s. There's a huge pool and you're right on the ocean. There's also lots of water sports you can do. I think jet skiing, windsurfing, snorkeling on the reef. The food is excellent. They have a very good chef, breakfast, lunch and dinner. Dinner and lunch particularly good. In fact, I had this exact same meal 2 nights in a row. It was so good. It's all fresh, it's all beautifully presented, and it's just delicious. If a friend asked me whether or not to go to Barbados, I'd say definitely 100%. It's safe, it's easy to do, it's absolutely beautiful. You feel comfortable, safe, and it's just a stunning island and a fabulous time.
If you want a nice stay in Barbados, come to Cobblers Cove Hotel. It's wonderful here. The weather is good, the people is fantastic, and the food is off the chain. Cobblers Cove Hotel, Barbados West Coast. Love you all. From Barbados to England. You're sending big love.
Video picture. That was video.
Yeah, man.